Someone asks how you are, and the answer comes out without a second thought. I'm fine. I'm good. It happens so automatically we rarely ask why we lied, because behind that snapping, bright smile, there is often a quiet, heavy exhaustion. Long before humans learned language, acceptance by the tribe determined survival. Our brains still process social exclusion as a physical threat, so we learn to equate showing pain with weakness. In the logic of our ancient wiring, a smile is a tool to avoid rejection. Sociologist Erving Goffman realized this dynamic turns everyday life into a performance. He called it the front stage. Whether at a job interview, on a first date, or dialing into a video call, we project the composed, capable version of ourselves that the audience expects to see. This training begins before we even realize we are on stage. Children who cry are often told to stop being dramatic, while boys are taught that sadness is a vulnerability they cannot afford. We are conditioned to associate honesty about our pain with shame and cheerfulness with safety. Over time, the performance becomes the default setting. We wear the mask not as a moral deception, but as a deeply ingrained survival tactic, used to deflect judgment and secure our place in the group. As we reach adulthood, the front stage expands to fill every corner of our lives. The dinner parties, the office hallways, the family gatherings. We hold the smile to maintain the social peace and fulfill the expectations of those around us. We operate in a culture defined by toxic positivity, the demand for an upbeat attitude regardless of the circumstances. This environment quietly penalizes genuine distress, framing a normal human struggle as a personal failure or a lack of resilience. Social media has magnified this pressure by turning impression management into a 24/7 broadcast. Every achievement and celebration is carefully curated, while the boredom, conflict, and despair that make up a real life are filtered out. Psychologists identify this as upward social comparison. We instinctively measure our own messy, unfiltered lives against everyone else's edited highlight reels, which leaves us feeling uniquely broken. This creates a dangerous feedback loop. We perform happiness online because we are surrounded by everyone else's performance, and each post we share raises the bar for what normal is supposed to look like. In this digital landscape, the human smile has been warped. It is no longer just a natural emotional reaction. It has become a mandatory and exhausting social obligation. Goffman's theory also included a backstage, the private, unobserved space where the public performance can finally drop. But in our modern economy, finding that space is increasingly difficult. Sociologist Arlie Hochschild called this emotional labor. She studied flight attendants who were required to manufacture warmth regardless of their actual feelings, distinguishing between the internal reality and the surface acting shown to the world. Today, this expectation permeates the entire service and corporate world. We are expected to maintain a professional, cheerful facade at the cash register, on video calls, and during every sales pitch. This performance is not free. Studies of workers in high-stress service roles show that suppressing negative emotions on the job actively raises blood pressure and heart rate far more than simply expressing the frustration.
Psychologists call the resulting friction emotional dissonance. It is the internal strain caused by the constant gap between the emotion you display and the emotion you actually feel. Suppressed feelings do not disappear, they accumulate. It's like holding a large beach ball underwater. The longer you push it down, the more the pressure builds, until eventually it breaches the surface. Faking happiness at work and in public is a biological transaction. It buys short-term social peace, but it accumulates a massive, unsustainable physiological debt that the body will eventually have to pay. Outside of work, the reasons for masking are often more selfless. For many, the mask is an act of love, a way to shield friends, partners, or parents from the weight of our own burdens. In its most extreme clinical form, this becomes smiling depression. It describes people who meet the internal criteria for major depression while remaining outwardly functional, cheerful, and successful in their daily lives. What makes this uniquely dangerous is the absence of visible warning signs. There is no withdrawal, no lethargy, and no missed obligations to prompt the people closest to them to check in. These individuals often slip through every mental health safety net unnoticed. Because the mask never slips, the people in their lives are frequently shocked when a crisis finally breaks, having seen only the functional, happy front. Acting happy for too long can eventually erode your own sense of self. When you spend all your energy managing your image, you can start to feel disconnected from your own emotions, questioning what you actually feel versus what you have practiced. This is the ultimate paradox of emotional masking. The very shield we build to protect others and ensure our connection to them turns into a cage of profound, invisible loneliness. Many people seek out ways to become better at faking happiness to survive social situations. But refining the performance only widens the gap between who we are and who we appear to be. The path forward requires a shift away from performative happiness, worrying about how we look to the audience, toward authentic happiness, which is grounded in internal emotional honesty. Real healing does not require broadcasting our deepest pain to the entire world. It simply requires securing one true backstage, one safe relationship or space where we are allowed to exist without a script. Humans are biologically wired for authentic connection, and we do not bond over unbroken positivity. We feel closest to others when they are honest about their struggles, giving us permission to be real in return. Resilience is not the absence of sadness or fear. True psychological strength is the ability to experience and acknowledge those difficult emotions without judgment or the need to hide them. Letting the performance end is not an instant cure for the pain, but it is an end to the exhaustion. By allowing the mask to fall, we stop the internal friction, giving the mind a chance to finally process what's been hidden. True happiness isn't a loud, forced performance. It is the quiet, liberating piece of stepping off the stage and finally allowing yourself to be known.